So, you know that golden, glistening jar of honey you proudly bought at the farmer's market, or, let's be real, from aisle 5 at the grocery store? The one you drizzle over toast and pretend is healthier than sugar? Well, there's a decent chance it's not exactly the pure, bee-blessed nectar you think it is. And I hate to be the bearer of bad buzz, but in today's video, we're going to talk about how honey is frequently fake, why it happens, and how you can spot the imposters. Let's find out right here on History of Food. Honey has always had this wholesome image. Ancient civilizations worshipped it. Hippies stir it into herbal tea like it's liquid magic. Fitness influencers drizzle it on oatmeal with captions like, "Nature's candy." And honestly, pure honey is amazing. It's sweet, it never spoils, and it's made by bees, which automatically makes it cooler than anything you or I have ever done. But here's the catch. A lot of the honey on shelves today, it's not pure. In fact, it's part of one of the world's most widespread food frauds. Yes, you heard it right, food fraud is a thing. And no, it's not just about cheap olive oil or that 100% Parmesan that's suspiciously 30% sawdust. When we say fake honey, we're not talking about a jar filled with corn syrup that has a picture of a bee slapped on the label. Though sometimes it's basically that. Most honey fraud comes down to adulteration, which sounds like something you'd go to confession for, but in this case, it means mixing pure honey with cheaper sweeteners. Think corn syrup, rice syrup, beet syrup, basically any syrup that's cheaper to make than honey. Sometimes it's diluted so much that the honey barely contains anything from a hive at all. And yet, because it looks like honey and tastes kind of like honey, it still gets sold as the real deal. It's like the instant coffee of the honey world. Technically drinkable, but your soul knows something's wrong. So why would anyone fake honey? Mainly there are two reasons: money and greed. Pure honey production takes time, effort, and here's the big one: bees. Bees that need healthy hives, good weather, and access to flowers. All that costs money and can be unpredictable. Meanwhile, making syrup out of corn or rice is cheap, easy, and fast. So if you're a shady producer, you can buy a little real honey, bulk it up with cheap syrup, and sell it as 100% pure, while pocketing a much bigger profit. There's also huge demand. People buy honey for baking, for tea, for health remedies, for skincare. Heck, some people smear it on pizza now because apparently 2025 has no rules. Meeting that demand with real honey alone can be tough. Faking it is, unfortunately, the faster route. This isn't just a small, shady roadside stand thing either. We're talking global fraud. Honey is one of the most frequently adulterated foods in the world, and international trade makes it tricky to police. One famous case involved honey being shipped from China, where some large-scale honey adulteration operations were uncovered, into other countries under false labels. The honey would be mixed with syrups, ultra-filtered to remove pollen, more on that in a sec, and then relabeled as coming from somewhere else. This is called honey laundering. Yes, like money laundering, but stickier. Why remove the pollen? Because pollen can reveal where honey came from. Ultrafiltering takes it out, making it nearly impossible to trace the origin. Convenient if you're trying to hide that your honey's not actually from the sunny fields of Tuscany, but from a warehouse in who knows where. Now the bad news, spotting fake honey is harder than you'd think. You can't always tell by taste alone because those added syrups are designed to mimic the flavor of real honey. But there are some clues. First, the price is too good to be true. Pure honey takes work. If you see a huge jar for dirt cheap, you should be suspicious. Bees are not running charity events. Second, ultra-clear appearance. Natural honey can be clear, but it often has a little cloudiness or tiny specks from pollen. Crystal clear, uniform honey might be ultra-filtered, and while that doesn't prove it's fake, it's a red flag. Next, it never crystallizes. Real honey eventually crystallizes over time. If your honey stays perfectly liquid for years, that's a sign it might be cut with something else. Lastly, suspicious labeling. If the origin is vague, product of multiple countries, or the ingredients list includes anything besides honey, well, that's kind of like buying pure orange juice and seeing orange-flavored drink on the label. Beyond the scam itself, fake honey has real consequences. Legitimate beekeepers who are doing the hard, sticky work of harvesting pure honey have to compete with artificially cheap prices. That makes it harder for them to earn a living and can push some out of business entirely. And here's the bigger sting. Fewer beekeepers means fewer bees. Bees are already under threat from pesticides, habitat loss, and disease. When honey prices drop because of fake honey flooding the market, there's less incentive to maintain healthy hives. And that's bad news for pollination and the environment. So, in a weird way, every time fake honey wins, bees lose. And when bees lose, we all lose. Because without bees, a whole lot of our food supply goes down with them. Here's the good news. You can lower your chances of getting duped. However, it's just going to take a little extra effort. First, buy from local beekeepers, farmers markets, local co-ops, or even directly from small-scale beekeepers. Not only do you get fresher honey, you're also supporting people who actually care about their bees. Second, look for raw and unfiltered. While not foolproof, these labels are more common on genuine honey. Third, research brands. Some big-name honey brands have been caught selling adulterated honey before. A quick search can tell you which ones to trust. Lastly, be skeptical of blends. Honey blend is code for we mixed honey with something else and hope you don't notice. And yes, it will cost more, but think of it as paying for quality and doing your part to keep bees in business. So next time you reach for that honey bear bottle, take a second to think, where did this come from? Was it really made by hardworking bees and equally hardworking beekeepers? Or did it take a suspicious detour through a syrup factory? The world of honey is sweeter when it's honest. And while fake honey might fool your taste buds, it shouldn't fool you. Support the bees, support the beekeepers, and remember, if the deal seems too sweet, it probably is. Thanks for watching.